Hey everyone, and I've got a fun layout today, sort of like an art page rather than a scrapbooking or Project Life or anything. It's not in my art journal, I just thought it'd be something sweet, and it's going to be got a bit of 3D-ness, and rather than putting it in my art journal and squashing it all, I thought I'd do it on a 9 by 12 cardstock. So as you've seen, I just used some art crayons and just rubbed some onto my art mat, and then I just smushed some water into it, and I'm just going to use these yellowy tones, these yellow orangey red tones, because it coordinates with the September kit from Scrapping Fun Kits. So over on the blog you see a bit more detail with the photos and some information, but here I thought I'd show you the process of what I just did. So I just simply use the colours watered down with my paintbrush, and I'm just making some rough flowers. So I'm sort of trying to do some tulip looking kind of ones there on the right, and then there's a daisy kind of shape, or a traditional flower shape there that I did on the left before I'm going to do some more. Because they're the same kind of similar tones, I just started with the lighter tone, and then I'm not really cleaning my brush in between. Little bit, but not heaps, just to move on to the darker tones. So just trying to put them in positions where I feel aesthetically pleasing to the design and the eye, and just roughly just making some flowers. So at this moment, all I know is that I want to add some flowers with the paint, with art crayons, and then add some of the 3D flowers that were in the kit, and then the bees that were there as well in the kit to finish off the layout. I don't have a quote, I don't have an overall idea. I just wanted some flowers, and I thought it'd be nice to be celebrating spring, because it's finally spring again, and I don't know about where you guys are living, whether it's feeling like spring or not, but this week, finally in the middle, second week of September, second or third, whatever week it is, it is. We've got some spring-like weather here down in Canberra, so we're hitting 20, which is lovely. So here is some of the 3D flowers that we got. So this one I've already attached a bee to. I'm just going to use my glossy accents to attach it to the page, and this is a crochet kind of lace flower. This one here is some fabric ruffles, and another crochet lace flower here. So just overlapping them to make it look like it is a field of flowers. I did drop a bit of glue, so I put in a bee up there already. And then this homemade tulle flower here down on the left is quite bulky, and it didn't stick very well, so I'm just going to add some glue onto some paper and then stick it on there and hold it for a while. Excuse me. So yeah, so that's going to hang out there, and that's going to look so nice. So while I'm holding it, I'm getting out some green, a dark green and a light green. Although this light green, it's sort of like a khaki green in real life, but it looked, so I'm going to paint the grass and start to paint the grass now. It looks a bit yellowy, a bit more like an ochre tone. So even though I continue to do it, it does, I go over it later with a few different other green shades, so that it looks like it has the depth of grass and the colour going on, rather than just this flat colour. So I'm going to use this dark green here as the stems of the leaves. And as you can see, those art crayons are so easy to use. You just rub a little onto your palette, and then you just squirt some water on, and then rub it in to mix the colour. They're very pigmented, so you get a lovely colour. And just using a really thin brush, as you see, and I swapped brushes to add some stems and some beautiful leaves, making sure they all have stems so they don't look like they're just floating off in the world. And yeah, so it is really simple. I'm not an artist. I don't feel I'm good at drawing or painting like actual real things. So this one here is quite simple. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. Very, very simple. But it was just what, when I opened the kit, I was so inspired to do it. I was so excited to do it that I didn't even do an unboxing video, unfortunately. So I looked at the packet, and then I was like, right, I know what I'm doing, and just got set to doing it, and then went, oh no. So there is an unboxing on the Scrapping Fun channel, and I can link that down below if you like, or check out over on the blog or the Facebook group for some other photos. But you can see under my little drawers of art crayons there on my right, there's a grey paper bag, some yellow print and grey print papers, and then there's a cut apart, so you can see some words, but you wouldn't be able to tell what's going on. So there's a cut apart as always. So we have these lovely yellow resin daisies, so they're going to go in there as an extra touch. Had lots of glue, so on goes another bee. And just rounding that off before I forget. I'm going to add another resin daisy over here. So I just wanted to, make some of the flowers stick out, being 3D, and others being the painted ones in the background, making it look like the depth when you're looking at a garden of flowers, making it look like it is real, the ones that stand out more than the others. And then there's this lovely sunflower button that I've just put in the middle of that crochet flower, and added a bee down there just because it needed a pop of something. So I'm just using a gel pen here, just a normal writing pen, to add some dotted lines and put a loop in, so make it look like the flight of the bees flying off out of the flower bed. So here I'm just going to mix in a bit of the colour to add some more stems to make sure these daisies have got some stems. And then that's where I realised that I need to add another layer of green to the bottom. So as you can see, adding the green and letting it dry a bit, adding another green in the grass area means that it has the depth and a cool shade to the colour in the grass down below. So here I grabbed out my handy dandy tablet and then opened Pinterest and found a quote, and I'm just going to write, "The hum of the bees is the music of the garden," which is so lovely. Oh, the voice of the garden, sorry. Which is a lovely. And I was going to write the author's name down the bottom, so the person who wrote the quote or said the quote, and then I realised it might look like that's who made the painting. And I thought, better not write it down there, so I wrote it under where the quote is. So I got out my Stabila oil pen, and what I do is I like to dab it in the water and then paint, draw onto the paper, make it sort of like a watercolour pencil. You can draw on it, then add a bit of water and smudge it, but this is what I wanted because I wanted the darkness and the straight lines without a bit of fuzz. So I'm just outlining the flowers. This makes them really pop. I think because we've got that grey flower on there and some of the black tones and whatnot, it makes it, them all stand as individual flowers along with the 3D flowers as well. So I think this really makes it, and I'm glad I made that choice in the moment. So I'm just adding even just a yellow middle to that crochet flower. I'm making sure all flowers are outlined, otherwise it was going to look a bit silly. That one wasn't, even though it was a little tricky to get to. And I just check, and I'm just going to outline the whole page and use it like when you ink your edges, just with the edge of the pencil. So you can see it doesn't need much water at all. It doesn't need much to add on the colour to the paper. It's highly pigmented as well, and it's made for this. So it's made to blend with water and move around, or to stand by itself in terms of a coloured pencil. And it goes on most things, I think, which is why it's called an oil pencil, I believe. I don't really know. I just use it the way I know how to use it, and just from experimentation or seeing other people. Just one time I went into a scrapbooking shop and seen them and had to have them, and that is how I decided that it works so lovely. So I'm just going to add some green from a spray mist. So I'm just using it here, using the stem, the nozzle, the spray nozzle, just like you do when you do ink splatters. However, I'm using it to draw with. So that just adds a bit of like shadowing to some of the stems of the flowers, and it's just adding some squiggles down. I did drop that little, I don't know what that cap thing is, but that's okay. It's green. It landed on part of the flower, I think, but not so much that it's a problem. So just making them all, all the stems that I feel need to be. I'm just, like you can see, just squiggly lines. I'm not being pedantic or blending it in or anything like that. I just feel that once it dries, that's how it's going to need the look to be. So here's some close-ups, and I hope you've enjoyed, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you make it. It's a fun thing to make. Lovely and beautiful. Thank you. Bye.